Welcome back to the Saturday morning specials. I'm coming out swinging today. I'm talking about the best Fender. This guitar, in my opinion, is better than a Strat. It's better than a Tele. It's maybe got the best things about both of those two guitars rolled into one. It's more affordable, it's smaller, it's more fun to play. And here it is. It's time to talk about the Fender Duosonic. Okay, let's talk about this guitar. First of all, I'm not really a Fender guy. I've never really played a Fender guitar that I really was like, wow, this speaks to me. I really want that. Until I played one of these. A little bit of story time. I was in a guitar shop maybe 5 years ago, and I played one of these. It was the generation before this. There was Arctic White. It had a maple fretboard, which I prefer, to be honest, but this is Palfero. It's still fine. And I should have bought it. It was the one that got away. So I'm still on the hunt for an Arctic White Duosonic. If anyone's got one they're looking to sell, hit me up. I'm interested. But for today, we're going to talk about this one. So yeah, this is a Player Duosonic. It's made in Mexico. It's got an Alder body, and the first thing I want to bring to your attention is that this is a 24-inch scale. So it's just a little bit shorter than your normal guitars. And basically what that means is this is going to be a little bit easier to play. It's going to feel a bit different. It's going to sound a little bit different. To me, it's really plucky and clear. I really love it. I'm really a Schecter guy, but these things are fantastic. They come in a few colors. This one's a seafoam green. It also comes in a tide pool, which is kind of like a metallic blue, and also a color called desert sand, which is all golden. And the other two come with a maple fretboard. As I said before, I like a maple fretboard on these better, but this one's Palfero and I still really like it. We got a maple neck with a C-shaped profile. Feels great. It's 9.5-inch radius, 22 medium jumbo frets. Let's play a little bit more. I'm going to put it on the neck position this time, and we'll do some clean stuff, eh? So I said before that I think this combines basically the best parts about a Strat and a Tele all into one. I want to explain what I mean by that. First of all, the body shape, it's very utilitarian. It's pretty much just a big plank with rounded edges, but it's comfortable, and it's also a little bit smaller, so it weighs less. It feels good to just sit on your lap. All around much more comfortable. Maybe not as comfortable as a Strat, to be fair, but way nicer than a Tele to my taste at least. Sound-wise to me, 2 single coils with a 3-way switch is enough for me to get some pretty Strat-like sounds and some pretty Tele-like sounds. We got a volume and a tone knob. I use the volume knob to turn it off. I never use the tone knob, but they work, you know, it's cool. These pickups are Duosonic single coils, so I guess they're made specifically for this model, and they sound really good. They sound really plucky and clear without being as harsh as the Strat pickups and without being so exaggerated as the Tele pickups, if that makes sense. Also, I kind of like the covered single coil look. I've never really seen it before. Another thing I really like about this is it's super minimal. You know, we don't have a whole boatload of configuration things to do. It's wiring wise and setup wise, it's basically just like a Tele but with different pickups and a different shape. And I love that sort of utilitarian approach. I don't think you need that much stuff on a guitar. If you want it, that's cool. I'm not here to stop you. But my preference, this is about as much as I really need. It's also a hardtail, so the strings go straight through the body, out the back, and to me, that's my favorite way of doing this. I feel like it makes for a really solid connection from the strings to the body, and you get all the resonance and all that nerdy stuff. But yeah, I just really like hardtails with string through the body. I think it's really effective and efficient. But it is your normal bridge that kind of feels like a Strat bridge. You got those curved steel saddles that feel familiar. It's got the Fender tuners on there. You know, they're nothing special, but they're not going to let you down either. Yeah, the 3-way switch, obviously neck in this position. Middle is both, and it's a humbucking position, which is really cool. That's what I was playing with at the start of the video, and I think it sounds surprisingly much more usable and humbucker-like than I would expect from a guitar that looks like this. And then we've obviously got the bridge position. And I'll play a little bit of that one next. Maybe we'll do some funky kind of stuff. once again, as I'm saying, it doesn't quite sound like a Telecaster bridge. It's not that twangy. It doesn't quite sound like a Strat bridge. It doesn't have that really sharp, glassy thing. But to me, this is a nice middle ground that just feels really, really usable. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about with this guitar is that some guitars have a quality that doesn't really have a good, I'm just going to say how fun it is. This guitar is super fun. I pick it up and I want to play stuff, and I wouldn't say that it's like inspiring, like you can pick up some amazing guitars and just go, oh my God, I can do all my hardest techniques on this and it's not going to get in my way. This is similar to that, but I feel like it makes me feel more lighthearted. I don't feel like I have to do these mad sweeps and crazy tapping and all this sort of technique on this guitar. I definitely could, don't get me wrong, but it just makes me want to play fun stuff that will sound good. And I think most stuff sounds good on this guitar. I think it's really, really versatile. I think it's really, really overlooked. And I'd highly encourage you to go have a look at it if you're just curious. Because as always, this is the Saturday morning special. This guitar is on special at Albany Music Works. Thanks for letting me borrow it for a night and talk about it. It was $17.99. Now it's $14.99. 300 bucks off is nothing to sniff at. And honestly, a guitar like this for 1,500 bucks, I'm pretty tempted. But I've told myself I'm not buying guitars unless they're perfect. If this had a maple fretboard and the body was white and everything was white, I'd be in on it. But it's not quite perfect, so I'm not allowed to buy it. That's my rule for myself, but it might be perfect for you. So I'd recommend you go give it a try. Usually I'll just wrap these up by talking, but today I actually want to play a little bit more because this thing just does that to me. So I'm going to chuck on the middle position and I'm just going to give you some noodles to cruise out. And if you haven't seen my other video that I posted the other day, I recently finished putting this guitar together. This is Noodles, and I made a video talking about Noodles and how much fun I had putting it together and stuff like that. So I recommend you go check that out as well. But for now, here's a little bit more duosonic goodness just to cruise you out.